So why don't we bring up those slides, our technical guru page, thank you, and then we'll turn it over to Gabrielle, who will take it through for the rest of our participants.
Hi everyone, so if you missed the beginning, my name is Gabrielle. I'm a designer in the Social Impact Lab, part of the team working on the Disrupt-ATHON, and I will be a concept coach this week. So I'm going to give you some more details about the Disrupt-ATHON itself, what your team will be doing, how it's going to work, all the details. And at the end, I will take your questions. So if there's anything that we don't cover that you're curious about, save it for the end and we'll talk through all of that. I think maybe we can use the same Q&A box as before. So today we're going to start by talking a little bit about mindset in the lab. That's a super important part of how we work. Then we're going to talk about coaching because that's another kind of important feature of this Disrupt-ATHON. Each team will have access to a coach from the lab. We'll talk about Open City and the concept space, so kind of how you'll be submitting your work. Timeline of the Disrupt-ATHON, the Disruptor Exchange event, which is an awesome opportunity for participants to connect and meet each other tomorrow evening. And then finally, if you would like to participate and you do not have a team yet, stick around till the end. We're going to be matching the people who don't have teams yet or teams that aren't complete with additional participants. So we are ready for the next slide. Awesome. So during the Disrupt-ATHON, you'll be working with a team to come up with a concept for how we might responsibly disrupt the food system. We have got a lot of great ideas today, but we're kind of looking to turn that into concepts. So there's going to be a lot of ideating and teamwork that's going to have to happen. So these are the key elements of the mindset that we really try to practice in the lab that we think might be helpful for you this week. The first one is to be curious. We listen to understand and to empathize with the perspectives of others. By being curious, it's easier for you to kind of break through your own biases and see things from multiple perspectives. Next, we always focus on respecting and appreciating. We really treat others with respect and appreciate their contributions. By being on time and coming prepared, we really can get the most out of our collaboration and time together. We also focus on not being judgmental of others. We come with our own perspectives, our own biases and assumptions, and being really careful with judgment encourages creativity. When we kind of are judgmental of people's ideas quickly, it can stifle our collaboration. Kind of following from that, we always encourage crazy ideas. There are no bad ideas. It's much easier to rein in a big idea than to make a smaller idea big. We always talk with ands instead of buts, and we foster collaboration by building on each other's ideas. Next, when we're working on something that we call a wicked problem, so like disrupting the food system, we have to be okay with ambiguity. We don't exactly know what the outcome will be, and we really focus on looking at what is possible. We turn boundaries that we might see into something that we call risky assumptions. So we want to test that and see if those boundaries are actually real. And finally, we always share work in progress. So we focus on what's necessary to move forward, and we're quick to share what we're working on and thinking about. So hopefully, as we kind of move through the rest of the Disrupt-ATHON, you can practice some of these things as well, and they will help you. Ready to move to the next slide. So as I mentioned before, each team is going to be connected with a coach. So your coaches are not here to kind of come up with your concept for you, but what they are there to do is work through the process of developing your ideas and concept. They're all practiced in doing this type of work, and they're ready to share that wisdom with you. They can help you to figure out your next steps when you get stuck and provide an outside perspective when you're talking about your ideas. Finally, they're also kind of going to be your point person to answer any questions that you have during the Disrupt-ATHON. So now let's introduce your coaches. First off, we have Lily Lowe. She is an expert design thinker. She has a knack for understanding complex situations and empathizing deeply with people who experience the problems that we're looking at. She brings the best out of every person on her teams. You might actually recognize her from commenting on your contributions in Open City so far. Next, we have Krista Rondeau. She looks at the world through the lens of possibility and progress and brings empathy, curiosity, and grit to her work. She has a relentless desire to learn from and be inspired by people and their stories. She's great at helping people get unstuck, and she's really good at asking the tough questions. Next, we have Monique Blau, who you know as one of the hosts of this show. She's fearless about the unknown and inspired by the future and what it can be. Her expertise is in problem finding, innovation process design, brand positioning and storytelling, product market fit, and strategy. She will draw on her experience in both the nonprofit and corporate sectors to help you achieve your goals during the Disrupt-A-thon. Next, we have James. You also know him from this show. He's the Director of Innovation and the Social Impact Lab at United Way of Calgary. So he's like the bridge between the lab and the United Way. He's worked in corporate innovation for 20 years and will share his experience with teams as they navigate the process of developing their concepts. And finally, we have me. I am really passionate about using design thinking to help teams collaborate and work through complex problems, especially in kind of a hackathon or fast-paced setting. My background is also in information design, so that's really about how can we create artifacts to help communicate our thinking and ideas. Ready for the next slide? So you will find out who your coach is, your team's coach is, in the concept space in Open City. So we're going to talk about that in a second. We really want to encourage you to connect with your coaches throughout the Disrupt-A-thon, ask them questions, and really use their expertise. You'll have kind of a daily touch base or stand-up meeting with your coach each day just to make sure that your idea is moving forward. They will also have set office hours each day, which is time that they will be available to hop on a call and talk with your team. And then you can feel free to just kind of ping them whenever, and they'll answer you as soon as they are available. So next, let's talk about Open City and the concept space. So if you have signed up already for the Disrupt-A-thon, that is fantastic. You have seen Open City and you know a little bit about what it is. If not, Open City is the Social Impact Lab's open innovation platform. So it's where we connect with the public on our work. You can see what we're doing and be a part of it. In terms of this Disrupt-A-thon, Open City is kind of your main information hub. It's where you'll find the schedule for the Disrupt-A-thon so you can know what you need to do when, more information about the food system and the how might we's that we've been talking about during the session today. It's also where you'll find your concept space. So your concept space is going to be your team's like private room. It's a place for you guys to kind of work together, submit your ideas. The only people who can see it are your team, your coach, and the Disrupt-A-thon team. Oh, we lost our slide, but that's okay. I'll just share them from my computer. One second.
I think we lost Paige, that's why.
Yeah, let's see if I can. Oh. Sorry about this.
Need some help? Are you good?
I'm just struggling to share, and oh, now I don't know what's going on. I lost everything on my computer. Maybe, Monique, are you able to share the slides from your?
I can.
Okay, thank you. I don't know why it's not working.
Not a worry.
No worries.
Patience is a virtue. Okay. Perfect. All right. Go, coming live to you.
Okay, amazing, thank you.
I'm just gonna scroll all the way down. What slide were we on? Concept?
Yeah, if you just go to that one that says concept form.
Perfect. Okay. There we go.
Okay, so in the concept space, that's also where your team will see the information about your coach, who they are, how you can contact them, all of that. we will know who to put in your concept space and on your team by looking at your contribution in the Join the Disrupt-A-thon challenge. So there are specific instructions about how you can create your team and tell us who is on your team in the Join the Disrupt-A-thon challenge kind of overview section. So if you don't have your team yet, I will encourage you to take a look at that after we're done this session. So this is what your concept space will look like. And below this, you're going to have a form. So that form is how you're going to submit your idea to us, and it tells you what we are looking for. So yeah, if you want to go to the next slide, Monique. Basically, you're free to come up with any idea that you choose. You can be inspired by our How Might We's and some of the information that we have provided, or kind of bring your own idea. But we do ask that you communicate it to us and answer all of these questions. So first, we're interested in really understanding the problem you're solving, the people that you're solving it for, what they're currently experiencing, and an overview of your proposed solution and the impact that it will have. Next, we want a really clear view of how people will experience your proposed solution. So how might they find out about it? How will they interact with it? And what is that magic moment where they will feel the value? Finally, in the lab, we're all about testing. We constantly want to test our ideas, see if they're going to work the way that we imagine, and understand new and different things that testing reveals for us. So we want you to tell us a little bit about how you could test your idea. So what would your test be? Who would participate in it? How much time would you need? And what other kinds of support would you need? So your coach can help you in answering these questions, making sure that you're on the right track and you're kind of getting your concept across clearly. So those first three questions you can answer in any format that you would like. If you want to do a write-up in the concept form, that's great. If you would prefer to kind of put together something a little bit more visual, you can attach a file. If you want to do a video, that's great as well. The only catch is that we need to be able to consume it in 10 minutes or less. So you have basically 10 minutes for us to read your write-up or watch your video, whatever you prefer. All the details about this are going to be in the concept space, so you can refer back to them again later. Finally, we would also ask you to put together a quick 2-minute teaser video that kind of gives an overview of your team and your concept or idea. This can then be shared out to the public if your concept is selected to move forward to crowd voting, so that you can encourage people to come and vote for it. So everyone on the team, oh, sorry, can we
Sorry.
No, it's okay, don't worry. So everyone in the team will have access to this concept form, but we just did want to flag one thing. It's not the same type of live editing like we have in Google Docs. So pick one person from your team who's going to enter the information at a time so that nothing that you edit gets lost. When you're done, you'll submit it for review. So it's important that you press submit at the end of the Disrupt-A-thon. Finally, we just want to talk a little bit about the difference between an idea and a concept, because we're constantly talking about how you're going to have this concept spaced and submit a concept. So sometimes ideas are a little bit intangible. Like an idea might be, let's have sandwiches for lunch. Okay, that's great. How are we actually going to do that? And that's where the concept comes in. We want to see how we can turn an idea into an action. So for example, the concept would be, we'll go to the store, we'll buy these ingredients, we'll come back, we'll put them on the table, and we'll invite everyone to come and build their sandwiches together. So do you see how we just add some detail, we talk about how we might actually do it, and that's how we take our idea and turn it into a concept? That's kind of what we're looking for from you as well. So when are we going to do all of these things? That is the next slide. So from now until noon on July 13th, you have time to collaborate with your team, talk to your coach, and really learn about the food system, a problem inside of it that intrigues you, the people who are experiencing that problem, ideate and create your concept. And then you'll submit your concept in Open City by noon on July 13th. Then the lab team is going to review all the ideas and choose teams that will present their ideas during next week's Responsible Disruption. And those selected teams will find out by email on July 14th by noon. So you'll have one day to get your presentations ready. And then on Wednesday, July 15th at 2 p.m., selected teams will be able to present to a panel of judges and the public, not judges, experts who can provide feedback, and the public during our episode of Responsible Disruption. And then finally, we're going to have crowd voting via Open City. So we'll invite the public in beginning on July 17th to look at all the concepts that were submitted, comment on them, give feedback, and tell us who their favorite is. Tomorrow evening, though, we have an additional event for participants. This is our, we're calling it like our Disruptor Exchange evening. So there are lots of really interesting people with diverse backgrounds and experiences who are participating in the Disrupt-A-thon. And even though we can't all be in the same room together, kind of exchanging ideas, we wanted to bring all of the teams together to one space so you can meet the people from the other teams, see what they're working on, and exchange ideas. As we talked about during the session, it's not really about having like one idea that wins or is the best. It's that we all win if every team comes up with a great idea. So we want to kind of make an opportunity for you to meet each other, exchange ideas and resources and knowledge, and maybe do some like peer review during the Disrupt-A-thon. So tomorrow, Thursday, July 9th at 5:30 p.m. Mountain Time, we have a Zoomcast that we would really like to encourage all participants to join us for. You can introduce yourself, your team, and a little bit about the idea that you're going to be working on and turning into a concept. You'll receive the Zoom link for this actually in your Open City concept space. So the same place where you find your coach, you'll find the Zoom link to attend this session tomorrow.
So Julie and Jean-Luc, if you are on a team or creating your own, this is also your opportunity to come tomorrow night.
Yes, you're more than welcome to join us.
Yay.
Awesome. So that is kind of our overview of the Disrupt-A-thon itself. Yeah, we're going to get to team matching in just a second, but I wanted to give a minute for people to ask any questions that they might have. I am not 100% sure how this Q&A box works.
James can help you.
Okay.
Yeah, so if people have a question, type them in the Q&A. I don't believe we've had any questions yet, so
Okay.
if you want to carry on, and we'll address those if there are any at the end.
Sounds great. So the next thing that we're going to do is match people up with teams if you don't have a team already, or if your team is not complete yet. So if you're on a team, but your team is still looking for additional members, stay on the call. So we're going to try to find a way to connect people through Zoom. So we're gonna try something. Does everyone know how to change your Zoom screen name? So how you do it is you roll over your own little picture, or like hover over it, and you'll get two buttons. You'll get one button that says mute and one that's three little dots. Then you can click those three little dots and select rename, and then you can change your name. So you can type in whatever you want there and hit rename, and it'll apply it. So what we would like everyone to do is, if you already have a team, but you're looking for additional members, change your Zoom name to your team name. So whatever you put in Open City already, or a team name that you've decided with your team, and then your innovator type. And don't worry about the innovator type yet. We're gonna pull those up in a second. And if you're looking to join a team, but you do not have one yet, just change your name to your innovator type. So if we flip to the next slide. So we wanted to make sure that we're making teams that are kind of dynamic and diverse and mix of different types of people. So we've come up with these 6 kind of innovator types, and you just pick the one that kind of resembles you most closely or that you identify most with. It's not super important, but it's just so we make sure that we can have a variety of types of people on each team. So I don't know how to see if people are changing their names.
I'm just checking with our technical expert.
Okay.
Because we were in a webinar style, the guests don't automatically have video available. So I'm not sure if we're actually going to be able to track it that way.
Okay.
Now we can see all the attendees and panelists, but we won't be able to see this in the same visual way.
Okay.
We can click on the panelist tab. So I'm getting information here. If we click on the panelist tab, it brings up the attendees and we should be able to see their names. And for example, there's someone that's changed theirs to the SE cluster. So it's the participant tab.
Okay.
So if you click on that, you can see it. Do you know which one I mean?
Yeah. And then can we put these people into a breakout room? Can we do breakout rooms? Oh no. Okay. That's fine.
Webinar.
So what we're going to do is we're going to just take a different approach and we'll have everyone go to OpenCity. We can also do this there. So you'll want to go to OpenCity and sign up and you'll join a team just the way that everyone else has. You'll go to the Join the Disrupt-A-thon challenge. And if you go to the contributions tab, you'll see lots of people who've already started teams. You can scroll through them and find a team that looks interesting to you that you would like to join. All you have to do is comment on their contribution, asking to join their team, and we'll make sure that you get added. If you don't find a team that suits you or that you would like to join, feel free to make a new contribution and talk a little bit about what you might want to work on during the Disrupt-A-thon, and then other people can find and join up with you that way. So there are detailed instructions about how to do this in OpenCity already in the Join the Disrupt-A-thon challenge under the overview section. It explains really clearly how you can find and join a team in there. So please, everyone, take a few minutes to go and do that right now. Later in this evening, once all of the teams are settled out and people have connected with the team that they would like to join, we will create the the concept spaces, and you will see them in OpenCity. So I just realized how you find that concept space is by going to...
I'm going to stop sharing and you can share your screen.
Okay. Yeah, I'll show how you can find it. And I can show also how to find and join a team as well.
And if you run into any challenges, you can email us, disruptathon@thesocialimpactlab.com. We're happy to help you through this. We know not everyone is super familiar with OpenCity and it takes time to navigate through it. And we want to make this as simple and seamless for you. So please reach out to us and we can add contributors. As administrators, we see everything in the back end. And so, you know, I do know some people are trying to add participate on the Imperial team. Now that I know who you are, I can move you as a contributor. So just as a side note.
Can I ask a question?
Totally.
Out there to everybody. Jean-Claude and I are texting about whether we should have a team,
because we have a couple other people who I don't think are here, Bethel and Rebecca. I'm not sure if either are here. I think Bethel's at work. We're meeting tomorrow to talk about stuff anyway. And so we're discussing whether it would be weird if we had a team since we're presenters.
Oh, we don't think it's weird. Because,
No?
and I would offer, because next week it's a different panel. And so you wouldn't be
Perfect.
judging your own. So
Okay.
we'd love to have you participate.
I mean, I know I've emailed you, but I just thought I'd put it out to everybody who's participating.
Yeah.
In case they thought it was weird. Okay.
Good question.
Yeah.
We don't think it's weird.
Okay. Awesome. Well, then shall we do it, Jean-Claude? I've been looking at people's questions and answering them and not paying full attention to setting up a team. So if you have, you're on mute, Jean-Claude, you're on mute. You're muted.
Yes, I am in.
Okay.
I think we have
a team.
Yeah.
Are people naming their teams something like creative? Something?
I would encourage you to do that.
Interesting team names?
Yeah.
Some do, yeah. If you go to Open City.
So
if I'm gonna do that, it's gonna be weird because I used to name soccer teams, so.
Yeah.
No, I will leave it with you, Judy, and yeah, pick the name.
Pressure.
And no, I'm good. I'm good.
Here.
Sorry.
I'm just noticing the list of attendees. I just noticed how you can switch. Rod Olson is a spin farmer. He's awesome. Okay, we'll do a team.
So I just put the link to Open City in the chat, so you can click that link and go to Open City.
Got it.
And I'll just show really quickly how you can find or make a team, and then where you will find your concept space later today. So this is Open City. If I go to my homepage in Open City, oh, no, of course it's going to be quite slow. You'll see this Join the Disrupt-A-thon challenge, and this is where you want to go to either register a team or find a team to join. So if you click in here, you can find all the instructions, like the written instructions to refer to later, in the overview section. But if you just want to follow along right now, you can go to contributions. And then you'll see all of the amazing teams that have been started so far. There's lots to choose from if you want to join. You can actually filter to see only the teams that are still looking for someone to join by clicking "We are looking for team members." And then you'll see there are 10 teams that are actively recruiting participants. So you can go and check them out and join one of their teams. When you want to join a team, all you need to do is read all about them, and then down here where it says comment, you can just comment and say, I would like to join your team. And then you can be added as a contributor, and you'll be a part of that team. We'll go through and manage and make sure that's all working out later tonight. If you don't find a team that you would like to join, that's okay too. You can start a new one for people to join you by clicking Submit Your Contribution, and then filling out this form to tell everyone a little bit about yourself and what you want to do during the Disrupt-A-thon, what you're looking for in your team. So it's pretty straightforward. Again, like Monique said, if you have any problems or questions at all, just let us know. You can email Disrupt-A-thon at the Social Impact Lab, all one word, no hyphen, just Disrupt-A-thon, and we can help you. Once your concept space is created, so I'll be later tonight or tomorrow morning, you can go to Explore, and then you scroll down and you'll see Concepts. And once you click in there, your team's space will appear. So it will be under Explore and then Concepts. Awesome. So if anyone has any questions now,
we can answer them. But if not, I'm really excited that you are all going to participate in our Disrupt-A-thon, and I cannot wait to see the ideas that we'll come up with this week.
I don't see any questions in the question box.
No, I don't either.
There's
And I've
a
been
few
chatting with a
chat.
few people, and I also put the email address in the chat. So if you want to take a quick peek at it before we sign off, that way you'll know how to reach us.
Yeah, and I've seen that Patrick Cloutier has said he's got some issues with logging into, with joining. So I'll forward that to you guys if that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, Gabrielle, for taking everyone through this. And we're going to put some of these slides up on Open City as well. And that way, once you log in, if you're trying to navigate through this, you'll have the slides as a reference. We've also done quite a few videos around how to sign up, how to create your team. So if you have any questions around that, those are available as a reference. And then again, email us if you have questions, challenges. This is, we want to make it seamless, easy, and we want it to be fun, first and foremost. And we look forward to meeting everybody tomorrow at our event. And then, of course, your coaches, which I'm one. So I'm super excited to meet whomever it is I'm going to be participating with.
Likewise.
Okay.
Good.
Guess that covers us. Any last comments? Julie and Jean-Claude, since you're still here, happy to turn the floor over to you if you have any last parting words.
It's so great. I think we could spend days talking about this. There's so much that I oh, I should have said this. Oh, I should have said that. And Jean-Claude, I mean, I just love talking to him. He has so many great thoughts.
I agree. You know, this is a topic that you can just talk about it for 1 week, because food, we cannot live without food. And also, it's very something people don't pay attention much. We tend to leave it to some people, but everyone should get involved in the food system, I believe. And I think I was very ignorant for many years. Just you cook at your house, you eat, you think life is good, but there's more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and the thing is, everybody is involved in the food system, right? If you eat, you're involved somehow. So
yes, it's basically, it's like food is like a politics where someone say, I don't like politics, I don't get involved, you know? You know, everyone basically think you are okay, but for some reason it affects you no matter what you do, the same as food. Mm-hmm. And everybody, I think if people would, if we had this, okay, all the time, I think we can change the world, you know? This is wonderful.
Love that. Changing the world one person at a time, one idea at a time.
Yes.
Yeah, sounds like a good place to be.
At a time.
Right? Yeah, exactly. One sandwich.
Our motto of our soccer program is called the Building Community One Goal at a Time.
Yeah, it's well said. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thanks
for
Very much.
Have a great evening.
You
You too. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.